Hello, everyone. It's Amanda Pickering here, and I'm so excited that you have joined this webinar today, No More Diets, How to Throw the Diet Bandwagon Out the Window. So excited. So first of all, I want to say thank you so much for joining today. I know it's Saturday, and in London anyway, it's a beautiful day, but I know that you're here because you're committed to seeing change in your health and you want some answers, which I am definitely going to give you. But before we get started, I just want to make sure that you can see and hear me fine. So if you are on live, could you just put in the chat box, which should be on the right side of your screen, that you can see me and hear me? Because otherwise we're not going to get very far, right? Great. Hey, Jenny, so you can hear me and see me. Great. So, and also, could you just let me know your name and where you're from? I know there's people from all over the world that are on from all different countries. So it'd be great to get to know you guys a little bit. There may be a few seconds delay. So Jenny's from upstate New York. Cool, cool, cool. I'm coming to see Jenny very soon in New York. Woohoo! And yeah, so I got totally distracted then. So yeah, I'm going to share with my screen with you in a second to get on with the presentation and to give you guys amazing information that will be so transformative for you if you let it. But I just wanted to let you know that once I share my screen, I won't be able to see your comments. So you're more than welcome to ask questions and write comments. But once I'm done with the presentation, I will come back and you'll be able to see me again. And then I can answer all your questions and comments. So we're going to be together for around an hour. And I really hope that this speaks to you and helps you figure out some stuff around diets and why they haven't been working for you in the past. And yeah, we'll take it from there. So let me share my screen with you. Here we go. Right. So I'm going to come off the screen now so you will see the other screen, hopefully. Okay, I'm just going to wait for a message to say that you guys can see my screen because I can no longer see your comments, and then we'll get going on the presentation. Okay, so before we start properly, I just want to encourage you to be completely involved. 1 second. Uh-oh, what just happened? Let's come back. Right, I'm just going to check you can still definitely see me fine. Okay, so I want to encourage you to be completely involved in this webinar. We have a million things vying for our attention. I totally get that. And we're all busy. But just for this next hour or so, I want you to allow yourself the gift of space and time to be present. You're here because you want answers. And I know that you will get aha moments and breakthroughs, but only if you really engage and are totally present. So I want you to make yourself a cup of tea or coffee or get a cold drink if it's hot where you are. And for the next hour or so, just toss your phone away, close all your million browsers that might be open on your computer, log out of Facebook and Instagram, and let's get started. Okay, so in this webinar, you're going to learn the 3 reasons why 99% of diets do not work and what you can do about it. You're going to learn why it's the diet's fault and not you as the reason why you keep on failing. And why even if you lose weight, you often put it back on again just a few months later. And the biggest piece you're missing to finally see the results you want. I'm also going to share with you the 3 things I did to totally transform my health from the inside out and throw the diet wagon out the window for good. And oh boy, did it feel good. And I also have a special announcement for you if you stay till the end. But before we do that, I just want to give you a little bit of information about myself. If you've never met me before, my name is Amanda Pickering and I'm a certified health coach. I'm the creator of a groundbreaking weight loss program called 555, which has helped hundreds of women to date to lose weight. And the Fierce Wellness Academy, which is my 10-week online program designed to help women transform their health from the inside out and finally see the changes they want in how they look and how they feel. I also coach women privately all over the world to help them lose weight and end emotional eating and discover the greatness that I already know is within them. I'm also a survivor and thriver of multiple health conditions, and I really want to tell you a little bit about that before we get into talking about no more diets and how to get off the diet bandwagon so that you understand that I get it. I am not coming from a place of judgment or naivety. I've been where you are, and I totally understand your struggle. So this is a photo of me when I was 20 years old. And before I was 21, I had more health conditions than most people have in their entire lifetime put together. So I had glandular fever and chronic fatigue and thyroid disorder and anxiety disorder and hormone problems. I mean, it was mad. And the hormone problems manifested in the form of a cyst the size of a grapefruit on my ovary, which had to be removed. And I was 25 pounds overweight. So I was kind of going through the ringer at a pretty young age. And I had tried everything on the planet to lose weight. I mean, diet pills, nutritionists, personal trainers, private doctors, different programs, you name it, I had tried it because I wanted to heal myself and to have a new reality to the one that I had found myself in. But it just felt like nothing was working, and I mean nothing. And, you know, the doctors kind of gave up on me and told me that that would be my life and that I would be on medication for the remainder of it, or at least the medication that was kind of half working 50% of the time. So this is also me at 20 years old, and I felt so tired and hopeless and stuck. And I remember wearing that t-shirt because nothing else would really fit me. And I wore it time and time again. And I felt in despair, and I felt trapped and hopeless and suicidal. And I just thought, if this is going to be my life, like, what's the point of living it? I was really at that point. And at the same time, I remember lying on the couch one day so vividly, and I was crying my heart out. And I thought, there has got to be more than this. I cannot just settle. And I had this inkling on the inside of me that there must be more than just this morbid diagnosis that the doctors had given me. Do you know what I mean? That feeling on the inside that this, whatever this might be for you, we all have our version of this, cannot be all there is. There's got to be more. And, you know, in that moment, I decided one of the most important decisions I've ever decided for my life, which was that my health was worth fighting for. And that was the decision that really changed everything for me. I started learning everything I could about nutrition and healing myself with food and the power of the emotions and the mind. And here's what happened. I healed myself from every single health condition, both physical and mental, that I'd ever had. And I lost 25 pounds in the process. So the photo on the left is when I was on my 20th birthday, and all the ones on the right just from a few months ago. And here's the thing, I decided that I had to share my findings with the world because I'd had such an awesome transformation, both inwardly and outwardly. And I got certified as a coach because I wanted to help people just like you. I thought, my goodness, if I could save women the thousands of pounds and years of trial and error that I had to go through, it would be worth every single day of sickness and disease that I had gone through. So that's a little bit about me. And I just wanted to share that with you so you understand that I get where you're at. I've been there more times than once. And now on to the reason you're here. So you know what it's like. You try a different diet because you think that might be the thing that will help. Or maybe you start again on Monday every week. Sunday night, you're gearing up to, okay, this week is going to be the different week. This week, there's going to be transformation. And, you know, there's always a promise with a diet that's attached to it that says this will work for you. But it never does, right? I mean, that's why you're here, because you know that something's not right. But you might be thinking that you've done something wrong, or that why does it work for other people and not you? Or maybe there's something wrong with you. And I want to tell you today that that is absolutely not the case. So I first of all want to tell you the 3 reasons why diets don't work, and you will soon find out that it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with the diet. So the first reason why diets don't work is that there is a heavy emphasis on calorie counting, restriction, and deprivation for almost all diets out there. Here's the problem. All calories are not created equally. So you cannot expect to be able to only count calories and lose weight. It's simply not possible. What do I mean by this? On your screen, you can see an apple and a packet of crisps, or if you're from the States, chips. And this is the problem. That apple and those bag of crisps are probably around the same calories, around about 80 to 100 calories. But here's the issue. The apple behaves very differently in your body to a bag of crisps. Your body knows exactly what to do with the nutrients that you get from that apple. It knows to take the nutrients and it can feed your cells with it. It gives you energy Whereas on the other hand, those packet of crisps, your body goes, that's not food, because yes, it may have started as a potato chip, but it's been fried in hydrogenated oils and it's now toxic for your body. And when you eat it, it causes inflammation. Your liver doesn't recognize it as food and stores it as fat. And that is the reason why calorie counting does not work, because all calories are not created equally. And we need to stop counting calories and start counting nutrients. You could be eating a diet of 1,500 calories from real whole foods that feed your body and they're anti-inflammatory and see amazing results. Or you could eat 1,500 calories of junk food and food like products or foods you think are healthy and never see the results you're looking for because they are nutrient empty. The other thing is that diets set you up to fail before you've even begun. The very nature of a diet means that it's short term. I mean, what is the point in losing massive amounts of weight quickly only to put it back on again? Apart from it's terrible for your body, it's so destructive for our self-esteem and our confidence if we're going up and down, and not so great for our wardrobe either, right? And I just believe that it would be so much better to have a lifestyle where we lose weight slowly rather than eating lettuce and boiled chicken all day and getting to our goal weight quickly but then putting it all back on again. The problem is diets are forcing our body to do something it was never meant to do. Our bodies were not meant to be forced to lose weight by depriving it and starving it and restricting it. Our bodies, we were meant to give it love and nurture it and nourish it. And then when it's given the right amount of foods and the right amount and a few other things we'll talk about, your body lets go of the weight naturally. But the diet industry have tried to force it to happen, and therefore we've ended up where we are now. The third thing about this is that if you're hungry all the time, what in the world is the incentive to keep going? Like, nobody wants to be hungry all the time. Like, I am angry, or hangry as they say, when I'm hungry. Like, I don't want to be, I'm never hungry. And I lost 25 pounds and have kept it off for 4 years. And this is the thing, if you feel deprived, you failed before you've even began, because deprivation signals want. So if someone tells you you cannot have it, whatever it is, whether it's food or something else, it's human nature to then want it, right? Because we don't like to be told no. So the very nature of deprivation means that you're gonna fall off a wagon that the diet industry has created for you, and you're gonna feel rubbish about yourself. The second reason why diets fail is because they are based on false science and a one-size-fits-all approach. What do I mean by false science? Low-fat diets, calorie bars, sweeteners, all of it is based on false science that does not stack up to our true experience. Here's the thing, if those things worked, we wouldn't be getting sicker and heavier as a world, but we are, right? We are being still told things like milk is good for our bones, there is nothing wrong with sugar in small amounts, sweeteners are better alternatives than sugar, especially if you're a diabetic, and fat makes you fat. And the list goes on. And maybe you're in a position where you believe those things right now because that is what the diet industry has told you. So this is beyond the scope of this webinar. I can't go into all the reasons why certain foods are good and bad, but I just want you to know that you are being lied to in ways that you could never imagine. And I do have a resource for you that is free that I will give to you at the end of this webinar, which is a free video series where I talk about the myths and misconceptions of healthy eating. And I really go deep into why certain foods we think are healthy for us are actually harming us and what we can do instead. The other issue is that this one-size-fits-all approach is madness. It just doesn't, it's common sense tells us that we are all different, right? We come from different nationalities, ancestry, we have different genes, different makeup, different biology, and yet the diet industry are telling us that if we all eat the same things, we all look and feel the same way. It doesn't stack up. And think about it this way, I'm sure you and someone you know, maybe a friend or a relative, have tried the same diet or meal plan at the same time, right? You're eating the same things in the same amounts. One of you will lose weight and the other will stay exactly the same, right? And it's so frustrating, especially if it's you. And this is because our bodies process things totally differently to somebody else. And see, some foods might inflame my body that don't inflame yours. And if you don't know what they are, then you may not be losing weight because you're eating inflammatory foods for your specific body type. So what we really need to do is to look at an elimination diet, which basically means taking out inflammatory foods and seeing how your body reacts and then putting them back in. For example, myself, when I took out things like wheat and gluten, which my body does not like, I'm not allergic to it, I'm just intolerant to it, I can easily lose 5 pounds in just 1 week just from inflammation reduction. The other reason why diets fail is because, do you like my little drawing? You either do it alone or with someone in the same boat as you. Now, you may be thinking, isn't it a good thing to do this with someone in the same boat? Here's the thing. When you want to lose weight or make a change, you often grab your bestie or a friend or a relative or somebody that you can do it with so you don't feel alone, right? The problem with that is you are in the same boat, in that the second one of you feels weak, the second one of you is like, oh, do you know what? I'm so sore today, I can't be bothered to work out. Or you're like, oh, stuff it, we've worked so hard this week, let's order a pizza. You pull the other one down with you. Because the thing is, to get to where you've never gone, you have to do something different. And I mean this with love, but you can't get there with the blind leading the blind. It just doesn't work. You need to find someone who has done what you want to do. And the caveat here is that they've also seen lasting change. There's no point in following someone or their technique that kind of lost weight and then 6 months later has put it all back on again. You want to find someone that you trust and that you can see the results over a long period of time. But if you can find someone like that and you can see what they've done and they're willing to show you how they've done it, then you can see lasting change because they've been where you are. They know the pitfalls. They know what might happen and when you might feel down and when you're going to feel like you just want to give up completely and when the breakthrough might be coming. And so it's so important to find someone that's ahead of you. Even if you end up doing it with your friend, make sure you're following someone who knows what they're doing. The other thing is that we are hardwired for relationship and support. And so trying to do it on our own is just as bad as trying to do it with someone in the same boat. It's by its very nature lonely. And if we don't have the right support, especially when we're trying to break through stuff and change things about our life and ourselves, it won't work. We're just as likely to fail. And that's often why slimming clubs and things don't work, because it's lots of people in the same boat trying to do it at the same time. And we need someone that's further ahead of us to show us what to do. So here's the truth. It's the diet and not you that keeps on failing. You can take a deep breath. It's the diet and not you that keeps on failing. This is the thing. It's not about willpower. It's if you're being given full science and we're talking about calorie counting, restriction, deprivation, and a one-size-fits-all plan, of course it's not working for you because it's the diet that's flawed, not you. So I want you to take off blame from yourself and feeling like you're lesser than and not worthy because you can't make a diet work for you, and realize that it was never your fault in the first place. I want to explain to you what's really going on right now. And when I realized this, everything changed for me. Are you ready? 99% of diets focus only on nutrition. That is why they fail. Now, you might be thinking, hold on, aren't they meant to focus on nutrition? Isn't it all about food? Here's the thing, right? We all know that if we eat better and exercise more, we will lose weight and be well, right? But that's not the case. We all know what to do, but we aren't doing it. And so this is not just about nutrition. This is about exercise and what's inflaming the body and emotional eating and self-sabotage. And it's about wanting to fit in and not look weird at parties and things when you're having to eat food that's different to your family and not wanting to rock the boat with people. Focusing just on nutrition is like starting a car without any gas in it. The nutrition is just one small part of a much bigger puzzle that you need to be able to lose weight. So you may also be wondering, and you probably have experienced this, why even when diets do seem to work, do we put the weight back on again? Well, I'm going to share 3 reasons with you. The first reason is, I love this picture, it's unsustainable. If something is unsustainable, there is only so long that we can do it for. Eventually, your body will say enough, and you're probably going to revolt big time. So if you've been depriving yourself or starving yourself, you will eventually hit a plateau and stop losing weight. Or you might go the other way and your body might start putting on weight in an attempt to save itself. And here's the thing, without proper nutrition and nourishment, the body will shut down. Its primary reason for existence is to protect you. So if it feels like it's under any attack, it will shut down its major processes to try and protect you. Hence your thyroid. If any of you are suffering with thyroid problems, your adrenals will start to give up, your adrenal glands. You'll start to feel tired. You will take away nutrients from places that need it. Like you might notice weak nails and hair and bones. Look at this woman pulling out her hair. I've even worked with people that have been on these crazy low-calorie diets and shake plans, and their hair has started to fall out because their body just does not have the nutrients to sustain them. Second thing, malnourishment. Now, you may be wondering why malnourishment is in a talk about diets. I will tell you. You can be overweight and starving at the same time. Now, I know that that might be a bit mind-boggling, but here's the thing. If food is not nutrient dense, you can be overweight, so you can be eating crappy foods and food-like products and chemical-laden foods and additives, but your cells can be starving and they won't be doing their job properly. So you might look overweight on the outside, but inside you are absolutely starving and malnourished. And your body often thinks it's in starvation mode when you are on a diet. When you're on way too low calories, your body is very clever and thinks you're in a famine and therefore starts holding on to the weight. And the second you start eating normally again, it doesn't shift back because your body thought that those low calories was all it was getting. And so it tries to hold on to it to protect it because it thinks it's in famine, and your body is clever. It's a very clever machine. A really poignant example of this is if you think about those adverts that you often see on TV of kids in countries where they're starving and they've got those pot bellies. The reason they have those pot bellies is because, yes, they are in a famine and their body has developed fat around the stomach to protect the most vital organs. They're not eating loads of crappy foods. It's because their body is starving and therefore trying to protect it. So often that's what happens with diets, is that we don't give it enough calories and we don't give it enough nutrients, and therefore it goes into starvation mode. The other thing is you can also eat too little of the good stuff, even if it is nutrient dense and it's real whole foods in its natural form. If you're not eating enough of it, your body will not let go of the weight. That's why I've seen countless times with my clients and other people that we are all told if you exercise more and eat less, you will lose weight. The problem with that is if you're not fueling your body enough, your metabolism will not work at the rate that it's meant to. And so you need to increase the good amounts of food if you're not seeing weight loss and you're eating really well to be able to see the change that you want to see. So here's really what I want to say about malnourishment. Your body needs to feel safe to let go of the weight. It shouldn't feel like it's in a war. It's craziness. And that's what's happened to our society now, where we're trying so hard to force our body to do what it was never meant to do, rather than love it and give it what it needs, and then it feels safe enough to let go of the weight. The other reason why we end up putting weight back on is emotional eating and self-sabotage. I love this photo on the left of the guy with the saw on the tree because I think it's such a good representation of what we do when it comes to self-sabotage. So self-sabotage, the way that I describe it, and I always find it's a really good visual and it's really helpful, is self-sabotage in its most basic form is just bringing you back to what you think you deserve. That's all it is. And I can tell you that wherever you are in your weight right now, it's a direct reflection of how you feel about yourself. And I know that that can be really jarring, and it can bring up loads of different emotions. It can be quite confronting, but that is the truth. And if you know me at all, you know that I'm all about truth. I love truth. I'm never going to sugarcoat anything. So I want you to know that wherever you're at in your weight right now, yes, there's things around nutrients. Yes, you need to know what to eat and when to eat and how much, and all of those things we'll talk about. But it is mostly to do with how you think about yourself. And if you keep getting to a certain point and then self-sabotaging to come back to what you think you deserve, the reason is because you think a certain way about yourself. And I can also describe it in this way. So as children, when we were newborns, right, we couldn't look after ourselves. We needed someone to change us and feed us and love us and care for us to survive. And if we didn't have those things, we'd die, right? And our subconscious mind was programmed at a very young age. Like most of it was set at a very young age. And so it was set to believe that if we did not get love, if we were not looked after, we would die. The problem with that, it served us very well when we were children. But now the problem with that is it still thinks it's true. So any sign of love, losing love or affection or being ridiculed, and your subconscious goes into Mayday mode and will do anything to try and stay alive. So often what happens is when you're trying to make changes with your weight and look different and people start making comments and you feel like you might lose a relationship or you feel like people might make fun of you, is you will do whatever you need to do. And this doesn't happen consciously. So you might be thinking, I don't do that. But just remember, this is happening unconsciously. Your subconscious is doing everything it can because it thinks it's keeping you safe. So that is what is happening. The other thing that happens is emotional eating. And I just want to say, guys, that I'm recording this, so there will be a replay. So I know I'm giving a lot of information, so you can watch this as many times as you want and maybe make notes or journal on this at a later date. But I just want to give you all the good stuff now. So emotional eating. Here's what's happening with emotional eating. I think it's really well represented in that image, but we are trying to fulfill a need through food that we just can't express in our kind of, we can't express it yet, or we're struggling to, or whatever it might be. And so therefore we're using food as a way to either dull those emotions or deal with those emotions. It basically numbs the pain. The problem is emotion never went anywhere because emotions don't go anywhere unless you deal with them. So it just resurfaces again because the food just dulled it for a very short period of time. And this is often why people develop things like binge eating and lots of eating disorders, because they're trying to control something that can never be controlled with food. So I know that might have sounded a little bit doom and gloom. So I want to show you how you can actually start seeing real results. And it's really quite simple. It's just following a plan and having the steps. So here we go. These 4 things are what you need to see results: nutrition, mindset, support, and exercise. So nutrition, you absolutely do need to know what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat. You need to know what foods heal and what foods harm, and foods that cause inflammation and therefore weight gain, and foods that are fat blasting and anti-inflammatory. I'm not saying you don't need to know those things, but that is one part of a much bigger puzzle. The second thing you need to see lasting change in your health and to see real results is to work on your mindset. I'm talking about things like we just spoke about, emotional eating and self-sabotage and beliefs about yourself and what will happen if you reach your goal weight. For example, if you think that by reaching your goal weight, you're going to lose a friendship, or people are going to judge you, or maybe you'll look more beautiful to others and you have problems with intimacy, you are going to continuously do things to get yourself back to what your subconscious thinks is a safe place, even if in reality it isn't anymore. And if we don't deal with that stuff, you'll never see the results that you want to. But the good news is, if you do, transformation is totally possible for you. The third thing that you need to see real results is support from someone who's gone before you and can give you a system that works. We've already spoken about that, so I'm not going to go too deep into it, but you do absolutely need support. We all think we can do it on our own, and we were not created to do that. The fourth thing is exercise. Now, just like with food, different people need different types of exercise. And there's exercises that put stress on the body, and there's exercises that are anti-inflammatory. And we need to look at your body makeup, what you like, where you live, all those type of things to know what exercise is right for you. And FYI, running on the treadmill is a total waste of time. Okay, so now I want to talk to you about the 3 things I did to totally transform my health from the inside out and throw the diet bandwagon out the window. And like I said, I healed myself from every single health condition I had, and I lost 25 pounds and have kept it off for 4 years. So the first thing is, I made a decision. I know this sounds so ridiculously simple, but we've tried to complicate it, but it doesn't actually have to be that complicated. Making a decision is one of the most powerful things that you can do. And a decision at its root means to cut off. How powerful is that? It means to cut off all other options. You may have heard the saying, if you want to take the island, you have to burn the boats. What does that mean? It means that if you are in a boat on your way to an island to conquer something, so say an army in the olden days, if you were to burn the boats, you have no way of retreating back to where you came from, back to safety, right? Your only option is to either die or take the army. And that's what decision has to be like. It might sound extreme, but this is your health we're talking about. This is your life we're talking about. And so when you make a decision, like I did, to say, that's it, I'm done, then you start to see massive transformation. I decided that health is my birthright. Health is my birthright, and health is your birthright. And I also decided that it was worth fighting for. And those two decisions were the first and most defining part of my journey. It was in that decision that I decided I was not going to take no for an answer ever again, even though the doctor had told me there was no way I could heal, even though they'd washed their hands with me, even though I was so sick I couldn't leave my bed. I decided that if one person could do it, I could do it. And I knew, I'd researched that people had been able to heal themselves and lose weight. So I thought, well, I must somehow be able to do it. I must just not know what to do. So I decided it was worth fighting for. And before this, I just want you guys to know, I had never considered this a possibility for me. I mean, I thought I was going to be sick my entire life. But when I made the decision, it was 90% of how I ended up seeing the results that I did. And I love this quote from my favorite thought leader, Tony Robbins. You may know him, but it's so true. It says, a real decision is measured by the fact that you've taken a new action. If there's no action, you haven't truly decided. So here's what I want to say about that incredible quote. You cannot leave the scene of a decision without taking action. You cannot. And whatever that action is for you, maybe you decide today that you're done with emotional eating and you're going to get help. So maybe as soon as you're done with this call, you take an action on that. Or maybe you've decided that having junk food in the house is not serving you and your goals in any way, so you chuck it all out. If you do not take action at the scene of a decision, all you did was tinker on the edge. That's all you did. You didn't act, the decision was not actually made. It was just a thought. To actually make a decision, there has to be action within it. And I want to show you what I did. So once I made that decision, oh Lord, I'm an all kind of in or nothing, all or nothing type of person. So I learned everything I could about nutrition and exercise and mindset and detoxification and energy and inflammation. And I went deep into every single one of those. I got certified as a coach. I started studying naturopathy, and I still do because I love it so much. And I don't want anyone else to have to go through what I did. But honestly, I spent at least 5,000, maybe even 10,000 pounds and 5 years trying to get well and lose the weight. But I did do it, is the most important thing. But I also want you to know that it does not need to take you that long. I just want to share with you my story. And I found the truth about food, about all these things, nutrition, exercise, mindset. I found the truth amongst so much nonsense and false claims and myths. And now that's what I spend my life teaching other people, because I don't want them to get caught in the same trap that I had. Can't tell you how many people, when they've listened to my teachings, go, oh my goodness, it makes so much sense. I never knew that. And the third thing I did was I got support. And I found like-minded people that were slightly ahead of me. And before you go into like, I don't know anyone, the internet's a very big place. There's 7 billion people on the planet. And I think there's about, I don't know how many on Facebook, at least 1 billion. There are so many, excuse me, online communities out there. I have my own community, the Health Chicks Club, which many of you might be part of. I found a coach. My spouse, my husband, is incredibly supportive. But even if he wasn't, I had made that decision. There was no turning back. I was available for no other outcome. So I would have found someone to support me. Basically, I immersed myself in being around people who got it, and that lifted me up. And these might sound super simple. I don't know if you were coming today expecting like extravagant claims, but this is the thing. It is simple and it's straightforward. It just has to be done in the right steps and in the right order. So as you know, this was the result. And now I've helped hundreds of women get to the same point that I did. So people like Melissa, I love this woman, she told me she could never lose weight. And she had reason to believe so because there was some other health stuff going on. But using my system and with my support, she lost almost 2 stone. That's like 28 pounds for those of you who don't work in stone. It's a lot of weight. And this is what she had to say on her 40th birthday. She said, I turned 40 last week and I have never been as fit or healthy with such a good diet before. Thank you, Amanda. I feel fab and got some excellent comments too. 4 more pounds to go and that's 2 stone off and it's staying off. And look at how happy she looks and so confident. And here's the thing, right? Melissa couldn't even jog before we started working together. And now she's running half marathons. And she told me the other day she's trying to sign up for the London Marathon, which is like 26 miles. And she's setting an incredible example for her 2 girls. She's doing amazingly well because she finally figured out the steps and followed a system that works. And this is Shonda. I also love this lady. I love all the people I work with. And just to preface this before I tell you more about her, is she's a health coach. She does what I do. And she actually helps other people lose weight, but she could not get herself to do it for herself. And so there were lots of kind of mindset stuff that we had to work around. You know, when I first met her, she was going through the drive-through 3 to 4 times a week. And through the work that we did together, she just stopped completely. She didn't even desire it. And this is what she has to say. She said, Amanda took me by the hand and together we developed a step-by-step plan that would change not only my habits, weight, and body, but my entire mindset. Because of her intuitiveness and skill, she was able to help me see how to truly change. I learned that what I truly wanted was to love myself and my body. Thank you, Amanda, for being such a transformational coach. So that was a lot of information that I just shared. And I just want to pause just for a few seconds. And I want you to close your eyes. Whatever you're doing right now, just close your eyes. And I want you to take a few moments and imagine what life could be like for you. My story, Shonda's story, Melissa's story, there's nothing different about them than you. They just had the steps and they knew what to do. And they all had lots of failed attempts prior to that and reasons to believe it wasn't possible for them. But just close your eyes and imagine what it would be like if there was no more emotional eating in your life. If you just weighed what you wanted to weigh and it was just, you could just stay there without even really trying. And if you could have more energy and no more yo-yo dieting, woohoo, and no more self-sabotage, and you could just throw the diet bandwagon out the window. Keep your eyes closed and imagine the feeling of being able to be that person because she's inside of you. And I never thought it was possible, but I'm living proof that it is. I mean, my life, I think that my life is, I exist to help other people realize that it's possible for them too. And, you know, now I weigh what I want to weigh and I never count calories, ever. I find exercise I love, emotional eating is non-existent, and I look forward to social functions and I wear shorts. Oh, yes, I do in the summer. So if I can do it, anyone can. So you can open your eyes now. And I don't know why you came along today. You might be struggling with constant dieting and always falling on and off the wagon, emotional eating, self-sabotage, or it could be a mix of all of them. And you might be looking for a new way of eating that actually works. Whatever the reason that you're here, I want you to know that I've spent years helping hundreds of women get the results that I did. And I know that if it's possible for them and me, it's also possible for you. And that's why I have to tell you about the Fierce Wellness Academy. Now, before I tell you about the program, I want to tell you why I called it Fierce, because to get the results that you want, you have to have guts, you have to have courage, and you have to be brave. And I know what it takes. So that's why I called it Fierce. So the Fierce Wellness Academy is a 10-week interactive experience designed to help you transform your body and mindset and take back your health. It is a live program and I'm going to share the dates with you in a sec. So, but first of all, I want to tell you what this course will help you do. This course will help you banish yo-yo dieting from your life. It will help you have energy that makes you feel like a kid again. Do you remember that? That energy as a child where you could just run around all day and make your parents exhausted. It will help you feel proud of what you see in your reflection and how you feel. Imagine being able to look in the mirror and be like, yes, this is me. My insides and my outsides match. It will help you discover how your body will feel when it's not loaded with toxins and inflammation and all that extra baggage that you simply do not need. It will help you say goodbye to emotional eating for good. And it will help you understand how food is not only affecting your body, but your emotions and mind as well. So here's what's included in the Fierce Wellness Academy. And I am going to go into all of them in more detail, but I just want to give you an overview. So you're going to get 10 weekly training videos, weekly group coaching calls, which I'll explain in a minute, a private Facebook group so you and your Fierce Wellness sisters can hang out, 10 weeks of vegetarian and omnivore recipes, and meal plans and shopping lists. So it doesn't matter if you're a meat eater or a vegetarian, this will work for you. There's going to be bonus calls with expert guest mentors on subjects like gut health, mindfulness, detoxification, confidence, self-care, inflammation, you name it, we've got it. And support and accountability in the form of a Facebook group to reach your health goals. The Fierce Wellness Academy covers 5 core pillars of health that I know you need every single one of them to be able to see transformation. It's like baking a cake. If you don't have all the ingredients, it will not turn out right and you'll think, what the hell happened? It will fall flat or it won't taste good. This is why you need all the ingredients. So the ingredients to see transformative health and weight loss and end emotional eating is here in this program. So there's nutrition, so the 10 weeks of recipes. We're going to go into mindset, so some of the stuff we spoke about in much more depth around emotions and self-sabotage and emotional eating, and how you can get your mindset and your emotions and your health working together. There's going to be modules on self-care, so how the way we treat ourselves and how we think about ourselves and how we talk about ourselves and to other people is the key to unlocking the body and health of your dreams. We're going to cover detoxification, so how toxins in our body and in our homes are keeping us in a state of dis-ease. Disease is just dis-ease in the body. Did you know that? And then we're going to look at exercise, so finding exercise that you actually love, that doesn't feel like torture. When you cover all of these 5 core pillars, it leads to health beyond your wildest dreams. And remember, I've developed this based on my experience and the experience of hundreds of people that I've worked with. So the weekly training videos, I cover the 5 core pillars of health in the weekly training videos. Like I said, it's like baking a cake. If you miss out an ingredient, it won't work. You get to keep these for life. They get delivered to your inbox every single week for 10 weeks. You can watch them as many times as you want, but they are yours once you join the program. So you can have them for years to come. You also get the 10 weeks of recipes. Why did I include the recipes? Because I don't want you to have to worry about what to eat. This covers when to eat, how much to eat, all of those things, the type of foods to eat. It takes out inflammatory foods. It shows you how to put it back in to see if it's inflammatory for you or just generally. And it takes the overwhelm out of everything. And before you start thinking this is going to cost you a lot of time and money, you do not need to be an expert chef to be able to cook these recipes. Listen, I don't like spending more than 10 minutes in the kitchen at a time. So I've made them quick, easy, affordable, delicious, and anti-inflammatory for you. And you will not have to spend loads of money to see change. The reason I've included these recipes is you have to flood the body with nutrients. It has to be the basis for any healing or weight loss to take place. Like I said before, the body will not heal if it doesn't feel safe enough to do so, and it will not let go of weight if it thinks it's in starvation mode. The next thing you get is the group coaching calls, and I truly believe this is the secret sauce to seeing massive change. This is the opportunity to ask me any questions on any of the modules or things that you're facing. This will be within the Facebook group, and it will be on a Facebook Live every week. Now, you do not have to turn up live to those calls. You can ask questions ahead of time, and I will answer them on the call for you, and you will also get the recording to keep for life. So it doesn't matter if you're traveling or you can't make those call times, everything will be sent to you and you will have it for life. But why did I include the group coaching calls and not just the modules? Because I know that coaching is the reason why people see transformation. I am never without a coach, and she helps me get aha moments and see transformation in like 5 minutes rather than 5 years. She saves me time and money, and because she is further ahead of me, she's like 5 years ahead of me, and she can see things that I can't see. And that is what a coach does. I can help you uncover what is holding you back and what changes you need to make. And I can help you get unstuck from things that you haven't been able to figure out in years. And that is the power of coaching. And that is why I've included it in the program. And the final thing is the private Facebook group, because I've been talking about community, right, and support. And whether you believe this or not yet, the support of like-minded women is so important to your transformation. Because when you fall down, or when you feel down, or when things don't work out, or when things go amazing, you've got a sisterhood of women to share that with. And that is powerful. It's a small, intimate group. The Fierce Wellness Academy is not for hundreds of people. It's for a very small, select few women. And it is only for women because I want you to feel safe. And I can only support you best in a small group setting. And, you know, there's accountability, so you can keep each other on track. And here's the thing, you may have amazing people in your life, great friends and family. I'm not saying that you don't, but if they're not on the same journey as you, or you making a change in your health triggers something in them, or they feel threatened by it or upset by it or don't get it, or maybe they make those kind of sly jokes that just really grate you and bring you down, you need a safe space to be able to share that with other people who get it and are on the same journey of you as you and will cheer you on. So here's what I want to say to you. My story is your story. I know what it's like to be in pain, physically and mentally and emotionally. I seriously do. And to try and fail and to be overweight and to hate what you see in the mirror. I get that. And to turn down social functions like the plague, or even fake a sickness the day before because you just cannot face, I've done this, you cannot face people and their judging looks and comments. I remember how much I used to dread invitations to weddings and things like that, because it's like, it's so torturous having to find something to wear and not looking good in anything and having to go out shopping and it's not the right size. And it's such a horrible, dramatic story. But I also know through all of that what it takes to heal and to live life in total health and wellness. So here's the thing, like I said before, I spent like £5,000 to £10,000 and 5 years trying to lose weight and heal. And it was confusing and it was stressful and it was really frustrating. And so that's why I put together this plan that works, that's easy to follow, and it's a system with all the parts to achieve the results you want. You get the mindset, you get the nutrition, you get the exercise, the detoxification, the support of a community, an expert coach. It's all in the Fierce Wellness Academy. But here's the thing, the Fierce Wellness Academy is nowhere near £5,000. Nope. The Fierce Wellness Academy is actually valued at £2,500, but I really wanted to make this as easy and affordable for you as possible and a no-brainer. So the investment is only one payment of £497 or 3 payments of £177. That is it. And we start on June 5th, so a week on Monday. But the doors are closing very soon. Once we reach capacity, which I expect to be in the next 48 hours, I will close the doors, and there are just a few places left. At this stage, I don't have plans to offer it. It will not be at this price. So the website is fiercewellnessacademy.com. I want you to go over there. There's so much on there. There's a video which explains it in more detail. There's frequently asked questions. There's how the program works, everything you need. And you can also email me if you have any questions. So just a reminder of what's in the Fierce Wellness Academy again. You get the weekly training videos, weekly group coaching calls, the private Facebook group, the 10 weeks of recipes, bonus calls, and the support and accountability to reach your health. But I want you to be sure that this is for you. So if you can say yes to any of these statements, then this program is for you. You know that your health is worth investing in and you are ready to fight for it. You are ready to fight for it. I'm not going to be doing the work for you. You need to do the work. You need to show up and you need to be ready for change. So if you know that that's you, you're ready to fight for your health, you've had enough, you're at the end of your tether, then this is for you. This is also for you if you know that to say goodbye to emotional eating and yo-yo dieting, you need support. You've tried it on your own, you've tried other things and it hasn't worked. And what you have been doing so far is just you're not getting the results that you want. It's also for you if you are ready to put yourself first and make yourself a priority. Even if you're not all the way there, you're at least ready to explore it. You're fed up of being last on your own list and always there for everyone else, and you feel frazzled and overweight and unhappy and lacking in energy, then this is also for you. This is for you if you want to wake up every day so full of energy that you feel like you're dreaming. Like I said before, that energy like when you were a child. It's so possible. And this is for you if you thrive on having a step-by-step plan to help you transform your health. And if you want an expert who has actually been in the trenches where you are and doesn't just talk about it, has healed themselves and lost the weight and can help you do the same, then this is also for you. And lastly, it's for you, even if it's a small whisper, but you know that health is your birthright and you are ready to do what it takes to claim it. And I want to tell you about a really special bonus, which is just for you guys, because I want to reward you and congratulate you for showing up to this call. You could have been doing a million things today, but you chose to be here and show up and stay to the end. And that shows me that you're committed, you're willing, and you're eager to change. So I am going to give the first 3 people that sign up for the Fierce Wellness Academy before tonight at midnight. It is Saturday the 27th of May if you're watching the replay. So before tonight, Saturday the 27th of May at midnight, the first 3 people that sign up will get 2 30-minute calls with me so that I can help you accelerate your results. That means that before you've even started the program, you've made back like half of it. And this is, like I said, coaching is where people see the most amazing results, but this is just going to be not in a group setting. Me and you, one-on-one, with me helping you map out a plan that's specific to you to help you see results beyond your wildest dreams. But just remember that bonus expires tonight, Saturday the 27th of May at midnight. So here's the last thing I want to say to you guys. It's your time. It's time for you to make a decision. And remember, a decision is not a decision unless you take action. If you've decided that you need to make a change to see the results you want, and if you've decided you've had enough and you can't stay stuck any longer, and if you've decided that now is your time, and if you've decided that health is a decision and not a diagnosis, that the weight that you want to weigh is down to you and nothing else, then today is your day. So the Fierce Wellness Academy, the website's at the bottom, so make a note of it, starts on the 5th of June, but that offer expires tonight and the cart closes on Monday, the 29th at midnight. So I'm going to come out now and see if there's any questions or anything before we wrap up. Right, let's see if I can figure this thing out. Right. Okay, let's have a look. Hey, Shonda from San Diego. Mona's from Northern Ireland. Hopefully you've sorted it out now. Oh, thanks, Shonda. I'm super inspiring. Yep, absolutely. Mindset was the game changer for Shonda when she did my program. Oh, thanks, Jenny. Jenny says this is seriously the best training I've ever watched. Wow. I feel like all of this information can be transferred into all areas of my life. Thank you. Oh, my pleasure, Jenny. Okay, guys. Well, I'm just going to give it a couple of seconds in case there's any more questions or comments. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining today. I hope that you got loads and loads and loads of value out of this, whether you were on live or watching the replay. I hope that this stuff can be implemented in your life and can just totally transform it. And I really hope that many of you will join me in the Fierce Wellness Academy, because I want nothing more in my life than to inspire and empower women to make radical changes in their health to see the results that they want. So if anything I've said today has sparked something in you, now is your time. Do not delay. And if you have any questions, just email me at healthandwellness@amandapickering.net. Bye.